So Moyu has recently announced 3 new sub-brands, one of which is SenHuan, and today I'm going to be reviewing their first release, the Mars 3x3. So a big thank you to Cubes.com for sending me the Mars along with the YuLong Pyraminx a little early to try out and show you guys. If you want to see my video on the Pyraminx, check out the link in the description. But until then, let's go ahead and watch my first impressions on the Mars, and then I'll talk about my final thoughts afterwards. Alright, so here it is, the SenHuan Mars 3x3. The box looks a lot like the YuLong GTS's box with the break-in tools and stuff. Alright, so this has a really weird feel to it. So for some reason this cube is really clicky, you can probably hear that. Along with the clickiness, it also has a sort of a sandy feel to it, but I think that's going to go away once you break it in and lube this cube, because it happens with a lot of Moyu's other 3x3s. You can probably hear that really well right there. Basically when you're turning it, it feels like it's hitting a bunch of small things on the inside as it goes along. Like the pieces are contacting at some point, and they're just making this one noise. It hits over and over again, and because of that, it gives this weird clicky sound and feel to it. I'm not really a big fan of that right now. Just feels kind of weird. It's very tactile feeling, and you just get a lot of clicky feedback when you turn it. For speed, I would say it's probably average, maybe a little faster than your average speed cube, but yeah, the speed is nothing too special. But yeah. Alright, so I just got a huge catch right there. Yeah, you can't really corner cut 45 gets this catch. Overall, I'd say, like, I don't really like this cube out of the box. It's not that good. Okay, so after breaking it in and playing with the Mars for several days, it has become a lot better. Out of the box, it was horrible. I hated it. I was getting a lot of catches. I didn't really mention that in my first impressions, but when I was doing solves after, I was getting a lot of catches, and it was pretty horrible. To set it up, I had to really tighten the tensions so it would get rid of the catches. And then I tried putting in some weight 3 in the pieces to kind of reduce the weird crunchy feeling that I was talking about. And it sort of worked, but then when I added lubrical silk, that kind of did the trick. So now that awkward crunchy feel that I was talking about is significantly reduced. Before, when you would turn it, it felt like there were a lot of small internal catches happening simultaneously. They weren't that strong, but like you could feel them, and all of them adding together felt like it had a really hard crunchy feel to it, which was really annoying. So yeah, the lube greatly reduced it, but it's still kind of there. I would say this cube feels most similar to the YuLong GTS. It's nowhere near as good as the YuLong GTS, but it just feels similar to it. But I would say that the GTS is more of a soft and smooth crunchy feel. This has more of a hard and brittle crunchy feel, so it's more annoying and not as pleasant to solve with. However, the more I play with this, the more bearable it gets. It's not actually that bad anymore. It's a pretty decent cube. It's just that I don't prefer the feel of it, so I would never actually speed solve this cube, and it would never become my main or anything. But overall, I would say it's a pretty decent cube. Like, it's not that bad. Most people would like it, I would say. But would I actually recommend this cube? I'm gonna say no or maybe, because like if you really want to take the time to set it up and break it in and lube in and all that stuff, then I would say sure. Like if you really wanted to go through all that, then it's fine. But if you don't want to set up your cube, if you just like using them out of the box, then definitely do not get this one. It is horrible out of the box. But after setting it up, it does become decent, and if you really like the feel of the YuLong GTS, then you might like the feel of this. They feel kind of similar. And also the fact that it's only like $2 or $3 cheaper than most of Moyu's cubes, I don't think it's worth it. I would say just upgrade to a better cube, because like this cube, if it was like half the price of Moyu's cubes, yeah, then I would say it's a pretty okay deal. But right now, I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth it. Setting it up did make it a lot better, but it's still not the perfect cube. It still has some issues, so that's why I'm just saying that I wouldn't really recommend it. Like I would kind of recommend it. It's not a terrible cube, it's actually okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this cube. I hope I was pretty direct with my point and got it across clearly. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.